Tell me if it's on. Oh, here we are.
We're preparing, we're recording.
Ready. So I thought, are you ready?
Yep. We are live with Csilla.
Yeah,
Another
we're
question.
live. Live and alive. So last time we just started from after the first question that
Yep.
how you are, but I thought I would get back to it first because probably other people are interested to hear also how you are, and they couldn't hear it. And secondly, because you didn't go much into details, and I was wondering, you know, in the aspect of how did you go through these 2 months that we all have been locked down, and it's a new experience also for you, and probably you got something to learn from, or did you change anything, or how do you view this? I don't mean to go into details about coronavirus. I'm just asking personally, did you find anything?
Personally, for me, I really struggled for a little bit. I mean, I didn't think I was struggling, but it was like I was grumpy or out of sorts and just not happy. And then, you know, it got pointed out that I was probably just a little depressed because I can't travel. I'm stuck at the house, you know. So I was like, okay, so if that's what's the problem, then I need to sort my shit out and start doing something constructive for me. And so what I did was I actually went out into the gardens each day. I'd only spend an hour, maybe two, and just potter and just create something for me in the garden or for the garden itself, or would repair something that's been broken or you know. And I even water blasted the veranda, I water blasted the balcony, I just using the culture, you know, just did something each day to get out of my head. And then what, for me, I was really lucky. Maxie, Gabi's oldest son, had an old computer that it died. You know, it basically just stopped. And I like tinkering with computers, so I said, well, if you don't want it, I'll take it. And I ordered parts and repaired it. And right now, I'm talking to you because this computer's now going really well. And it was so much fun to actually sort the problem and to just get my head into something different apart from bodies and me feeling sorry for myself, that I thought, I'm going to build a new computer. So I I watched a whole lot of YouTube part on what's good and what's not. And then I found a guy, American guy, who recommended the stuff you can get from Amazon. So I ordered it all and then assembled it and put it all together and realized I needed something else and then something else. And then I've now got it so that while I'm talking to you, I can look on Facebook and everything else on the other computer. And I've got two computers here to create all sorts of stuff with. And then that was so much fun. Then I had to sort out computer programs and learning about that. And now I'm actually looking at more closely at the alchemyofthebody.eu and how I can start creating more with that website. And, you know, I now have passwords so I can get into it and edit stuff, and I'm creating links to new classes and, you know.
Why is that needed, this new website instead?
Well, it's actually been, Gabi established it nearly 4 years ago when she first started creating, you know, inviting me to come to Austria. And then as soon as we started having the more classes, we needed something to set up for registration. So Gabi and her friend Blanca Schumacher actually created the alchemyofthebody.eu. And they've had full control of it. And, you know, I would just be told, okay, we're doing a class here. Okay, cool. And off we'd go. And now it's my turn to start creating with this. And it's really quite exciting. So, yeah. So for me, it's about not looking backwards at the mud I'm standing in, but looking forward to the dry land that's possible. You know, it's like, okay, so yeah, it's sink or swim, and I've decided I'm going to swim, not sink. And because of that, I've become more and more joyful and having more fun. You know, it's like I still would rather be working hands on bodies than talking to people in classes online. That does, I mean, it works, but it's, yeah, for me, I enjoy this more. Yeah.
So I was just thinking that you are not that sitting down and meditating all day type.
No, sitting there with my legs folded, going Shanti, I'd be dead in 10 minutes because it would just, my body would hate me. And I would hate my body because it's not that supple. You know, it hasn't been ever that supple. You know, so I think I was a little boy last time I was out to sit with my legs crossed. In fact, I think I got in trouble at school, in primary school, and I was only 6 because I couldn't do it. I physically couldn't cross my legs. I had to have them stuck out in front of me.
Well, you can meditate in just sitting in a chair.
Yeah. Oh, going for a walk with Morgan, you know. So.
Yeah. It's much more useful.
Yeah, I mean, we had so much fun with it.
And are you going to anywhere that you know for sure to carry on with the courses?
Okay, yeah, I've got a class now basically booked for Sigurd in June, 12th, 13th and 14th of June. And so we're going to go there. Then I've got, what have I got next? Then I have Cologne in July at the moment. August, it's free, which is interesting. And then Peach, is it?
Peach.
Yeah, in September, end of September. Saarland, I'm hoping will happen in October, middle of October. And then Zurich in November. And somewhere in amongst all of that, I'm hoping that Russia will open its borders again and I'll be able to go to St. Petersburg, maybe to Moscow and to Kiev as well. And just, I'm sort of contemplating it, but it's like the practicalities of just going from St. Petersburg to Moscow and then to Kiev and then going home again. But it just means I'm away from home a long time. And we'll see what happens with Morgan. We're hoping that she'll be having puppies, and so I'll be at home busy with helping Gabi with the puppies. But we'll see.
Okay. You become parents, or I don't know how to explain.
I'll be Opa. Opa to some puppies.
Yes. Okay, then if we are at animals, my first question was how do you relate to animals and how much do you speak their languages? Not just the dogs, but in general.
I love animals. I relate to them. I mean, people tell me different stories and I'm thinking, yeah, whatever. I mean, Cookie and Morgan, I have conversations with. You know, I talk to them. I talk to them about my children. My children have always grown up with a dog, and that dog was one of the children. It was always there. I had conversations. I mean, there was a photo we took of all my wife's mother's grandchildren, and all I said was, "Okay, kids, on the front porch for the photo." And my old dog loves having a photo taken. She's sitting there in the middle of all of these children looking directly at the camera. So, you know, for me, people tell me, oh, animals don't understand the words. True, they may not, but I can't see why not. They know to come, they know to sit, they know to stay, they know these words. Why do we think they're so stupid that they can't learn the language even though they may not have the ability to speak it? And, you know, old Cookie, she comes and tells me when she wants me to massage her. she tells me very clearly in my head when she wants me to use a particular oil. It drives her crazy because it stinks. But she will ask me and then hold still while I put this particular oil on her sore joints. So horses, I love working with horses because they are so clear. You know, an experience I had, a friend took me to some horses in Germany. And there was a mixed herd of all sorts of different horses. And I go in, nobody's expected me. And these horses all took turns, one at a time, coming to see me. I didn't go to them. Mm-hmm. And then there was this one Shetland pony. You know, they have a reputation for wanting to bite people. Grumpy, cantankerous. And this pony had a halter on. He was attached to a rail, so he couldn't go anywhere. And then looking at him, and I thought, you really want me to work on me? And I said, you have to promise me you won't even try to bite me. Because if you do, I'm walking away. And I worked on him, and they have photos of me hugging him, caressing his neck. And he's just in bliss. He's stretching his head out while I'm stretching and massaging into his neck and his back. And the owner's wife said, how did you do that? He bites everybody, even the owners. You know, so, well, I talked to him. I said, bite me, you don't get a chance. And there was one horse, and she's just beautiful. And she stayed away from everybody else. She kept herself separate from the rest of the herd. And so I just, okay, cool, you're fine. I won't annoy you. Anyway, I was leaving. And in my head I heard, oh, may I? And I looked over at her, and her head was down. She was stretching her neck out, and she was walking towards me with her head down, her chin almost on the ground. I said, oh, sweetheart, of course, I'll hold you. And she got me to hold her head and her shoulders, bow with her, and just do energy work on it. And she stayed there, and she was just in absolute bliss. So, you know, I guess I do have a rapport with animals, and I hear them and feel them and get the pictures. And I mean, there's even a photo of me holding a horse. He's 1,300 kilos. And his head is as big as my torso, my whole body. And he come up to me, he drops his head down and stretches, and he just wants me to hold his head. And the owners, the man, this big horse pulls the big wagons with the kegs, the barrels for the Oktoberfest. Magnificent horse. And he was just like, yeah. So we cannot do it. That's not not something unique to just a few people on the planet.
Is it a family tradition or heritage? Because I saw that your sister, was it, or daughter?
Yeah, sister, my sister.
That she also have this capacity to talk to the animals.
Well, growing up, we didn't really have anybody else we could trust.
Yeah, well, but does it mean you learn their language as well? Because
when they're sitting in a field and there's horses around you or dogs or, you know, you stop and you listen.
Yeah.
And you allow. And this is, I mean, I'm walking in the fields with Gabi or in the Morgana, and I'll just hear this in my head, hi. And I'll look up and there'll be a squirrel or a bird looking directly at me, you know. A falcon will be flying and I'll hear this, wow, you know, the joy of flight. And it's like, you know, it's, I guess, just I've learned to listen and hear that more than some people.
And you never thought of doing this with body of alchemy of body with animals?
I have, and I've had lots of people ask me.
So you did treat them, just not like you didn't give a course to them?
No, I've worked on horses. I've massaged horses. I've helped horses let go stress. I've stood in the middle of a wild herd of horses. The most phenomenal thing. On the twilight, on the evening, the sun's gone behind the hills and it's dusk. It's the most magical experience of my life, except for watching my children being born.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I was thinking which direction to take today, but I don't want to destroy this nice, magical, relaxed start with some unpleasant thing. So I would just go with the one I had before.
Yeah.
And that is, what is your religion? Even though I know you are not religious, and you probably would cancel all the religions from our planet, but apart from their bedsides, they give guidance to people.
Yes.
Collect the good sides only from any religion and make the one that you accept. What teachings or elements would that religion have?
Religions or churches
Yeah.
are a fine place to start your investigation of what spirituality is and beliefs. But religion is not the place to finish your journey. See, religion is a word that denotes unthinking, blind following. You know, to religiously do something is to, it takes it beyond a habit to something you do unthinking every day. What would happen if we let go that religious aspect and did the same spiritual activities from a very conscious, open, willing to look and see all else aspect? You know, religion is responsible for separation. It's responsible for creating them and us. It's responsible for creating right and wrong. It's, you know, it's responsible for creating the boundaries between us and them.
That's why I'm asking, what would it be for you? Then turn it around and say then what it would be like if it's not the negative side of them.
So for me, it would be a space where there are no rules, because rules come from religion. From religiously doing something, you have to do it this way. You know, and that's why when I teach my classes, there are only 2 rules really. Be grateful for the person and honor them. You know, and what would happen if we were all willing to be that space? Then we all become very, I mean, some of the most spiritual people I've ever met in my life had never ever stepped inside a sacred center or church. But they are the most spiritual beings. They are the most connected to the planet and to the universe and to that other knowing. And they have the kindest souls. So for me, religion and spirituality are at, you know, one's a starting point. At some point, you have to start trusting your own knowing rather than relying on somebody else to tell you you're good or bad, or you've got it right, or maybe you're now becoming enlightened. This, you know, you have to. You know, so many people I know in the New Age movement are looking to find themselves because everyone tells them they're not being themselves. All a load of shit. I mean, if you died tomorrow, Csilla, you would know you've been yourself all your life. Even though you look here and you look there and you're trying to find what else is there, you are being you while you're looking at those things and asking the questions and being the question. I mean, You know, you already see where things work for you and where things don't. And this is when we have to decide whether this religion or this belief system works for us, because I like this, but I don't like that. This doesn't work for me. Okay, so I have a choice. I either change how I behave so I fit in, or I have to go away, because that's the way religion creates it. You either totally bend to their will, or you're one of them. You're a heretic. I'm a heretic. I'm pagan. I'm a witch.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's more connected to freedom than anything else, and free choices.
Yeah. But in the process, you know, there are many people that are coming. You know, you're taking away my rights and this crap that's going on at the moment. And but you know, there's one thing to claim your rights, but as long as it doesn't impinge on other people's rights to do their choice as well. But when we start creating rules or breaking rules that affect others, it's like drinking and driving. It's my right to drink alcohol, my choice to drive. Yes, but the moment you kill somebody else, you've impinged on somebody else's rights to be on the same road.
This will be a topic of our third talk, probably, because there's something I was going to ask today, but let's drop it for the moment. And I was wondering whether you refer to the universe as it is because it's neutral. Okay, because we don't know what universe is actually, you know, it's an endless space of who knows what.
Yeah, you know, if you look at the universe, we see all these galaxies and we see all these solar systems, and where they thought there would be total chaos, they actually see that there's order. It's like looking into a forest that's chaotic, but at the same time, a tree's a tree. They don't grow in straight lines, but it's still there. And for me, when you come down to the micro, we have that same level of chaos and the same, same level of order. You know, we have electrons spinning around nucleus, creating molecules, atoms that create molecules, that create fibers, that create tissue, that create everything else. Those electrons, they've actually shown how disappear and come back. We don't know where they go. But they don't stay in that same cloud. They disappear, they come back, they go away, come back. So, you know, the universe for me is that, and it's also that. And so for me, it's like my body is millions of galaxies joined together to create the space. The really cool Men in Black. Have you ever seen those the movies?
I remember the first page with the two guys, and someone told me the story, but I don't remember.
Okay. Well, in one of them, Will Smith, he goes to his locker and he opens it, and there's this little word inside the locker. And he might have been with Jay, you know, blah blah blah, and then there's a door at the end of it, and it's like, I'm going to go through this door, you know, and they say, yeah, think about it, and he opens up the door, and suddenly he's looking out of a locker at a huge arena. So how many universes are we all at the same time within each other? And so for me, universe is a really loose word for just who we are. We are the universe. We are God. We are part of the whole awareness and creation of this stuff.
Yeah, it's good that you put this in this aspect and words, that universe is not just out there,
No, it's
far
not.
away, other galaxy.
It's in here as well.
Yeah.
You can go outward or inward, and you're still in the same space.
Yeah.
I am God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When you had your NDE, what was the form or way of love to experience? And did you feel that you meet God or God-like something? Do you have this memory?
No, I didn't see it as seeing God. So the very first time when I left my body, I'm looking at my body, and then I'm going away from my body. And then I'm in a space where all I see is colors, and I feel this incredible peace and joy and gratitude, and just, there's no words to describe that space. The only experience I can describe as something similar is looking into the eyes of a new baby. That brings that same sense of space and being. And then I'm there, and then there's all these colors, and I think, wow, this is cool. And then I realize that those colors are beings. Then I realize that I know some of these beings. I'm starting to recognize them and see them. It's like slowly the line is coming off my eyes. But there's no eyes, of course, because of just energy. And I see people I know, and I'm there in an instant. I'm there with them. Hi, I'm here. This is so cool. There's no pain. I'm so joyful. And yeah, they look at me, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. You have to go back. And I'm going, no, that's not happening. I'm staying here.
I never heard anyone wanting to come back.
Yeah. Even Anita Mujani had to consider it and be shown other possibilities. And it's like, there's no fat man sitting on a cloud with a harp saying, you have been a bad girl, Csilla. You said no to your mother when you were 3 years old, and you should have said yes. You are bad. You have to go to hell. That's bullshit. That's just to separate us from us. There is no judgment. It's just joy and welcoming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. When you let go of the fear of death and dying and judgment, you start to look at life differently, and you start to choose differently. And then life changes. You start to hear differently too.
Yeah. And you become the wind yourself.
Yes, absolute. Yeah.
I know the answer for the first part, but never mind. Do you ever pray or meditate, or you do not use these techniques to talk with the universe? What is your way of communication? Or is just, oh, I don't put it in your mouth, you will tell me.
Well, for me, it's like I contemplate, I ponder, I think about things, but I don't go, oh God, please, thank you for this. This is what I need. Now, can you have this? And I don't sit there and go, Om Shanti.
Yeah.
That's a tool. Maybe for me, I'd go for a walk with Gabi, and it can be frustrating for Gabi because I might only say 5 words in an hour. I can walk and not say a word. I'm with Morgane, and when Morgane's calm and she's peaceful and not fighting me on the lead, I can walk and not even have a thought. It's just the sense of peace and the stillness, and it's like, wow. Those tools are there to help you learn to get out of your mind. They are there to help you find that space where you can just be still. But again, like everything, once you start practicing and you then start being it, you no longer have to sit there in the practice of it, because you are a walking meditation. You are that walking awareness. You are. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still get shitty and pissed off with people and get angry with myself and go, "What the fuck am I doing here?" You know. But it's like, you know, most of the time I can sit and or do something and not have a thought, because it's just like, wow, what is that? Wow, that's so cool. And I'll sit there and I'll just admire a flower, or I'll watch a thrush in the garden. And for me, that is my connection to everything.
I was wondering if I can switch my mind off, because I also walked around the area today and I was trying consciously not to think.
Yeah.
It didn't happen until I saw something that was very nice, like a flower or
Yeah.
a tree, and
Yeah.
then it caught my attention. I was really happy to have them around this area. But I never thought that that's the solution. Just
If you want to still your mind going to sleep so that you can then just feel the gratitude and joy, focus deeply on your breathing. Breathing in, breathe out, and feel the air coming in the lungs. Then feel it deep into your chest. Feel the body expand and release. Just focus on that. And what happens is, see, the mind only focuses on the one thing. So if you can teach your mind to just focus on that breath, and then you can focus on learning to slow that breath down. Before long, you're waking up on this morning. And you've no dreams, no thoughts, just peaceful. And I go to sleep thinking, wow, well, I'm grateful for this and this and this. I'm so grateful for that. And I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, wow, I woke up. I'm grateful for that too.
an ongoing gratitude.
Yeah, yeah.
And may I ask, who are your teachers, as you refer them?
Well, I've had many people over my life teach me different skills and teach me different things to be and how to be. But the teachers I talk to most of the time are the ones in my head, the voices that aren't my voices. And sometimes I argue with them. Sometimes I get really pissed off with them. But in the end, I hear them. Yeah.
So they don't look like something, because you don't call them angels, you don't call them anything else. That's what you call.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They're just my teachers. Yeah.
And how do you know they are more than one? They have different voices in your head?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they have genders?
I've never looked at that. I've never asked that. I mean, how many lifetimes have you been a boy? It's like, what is the gender?
Well, a woman-like voice is it's a female gender.
Yeah.
So they are unisex teachers.
For me, they're just an energy that says, do this, or no, don't do that. Great. Just be still. Wait.
Okay.
Csilla, I'm going to have to get going. So maybe we can set another time soon and have some more of these questions that you have.
There is only one question you can quickly answer, and that's it for on my list. Is there a role you would fulfill in your next life based on your experiences in this life? And if you would change gender, or do you have any dream character that you wish to be?
No, nothing that I want to be, nothing I want to come back as, nothing I would choose to come back as. But
and if it's not a choice, someone will say that you will have to come back, but you have a possibility to choose a form or a lifestyle or anything. Nothing?
I would come back as a human.
Okay. Okay.
I really would. I would come back and spend time instead of with people, with the trees, the wild birds, the wild animals.
White people.
No. Well, they are people for me. I mean, I've had 3 dogs in my life before I came here to Austria, maybe 4, and they were my friends. They were people to me. They weren't a dog. You know, sure they had their role in their place in the home, but they were still my best friend. So, yeah.
Thank you then for your time and answers.
You're welcome. And I'll put this onto YouTube and share it with people, and I'll send you the link too so you can share it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Then have a nice rest of your day.
I will.
Supper.
I've been cooking a roast beef in the oven, so it's ready, and everybody's ready waiting for it. So.
Oh, okay, then let's not keep them waiting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.